As I was saying in my earlier video, I have got a vacuum leak somewhere, and I'm wondering if this big old carburetor, because I have yet to get my actual carburetor back from a friend of mine who has had it for a little longer than I think either of us anticipated. And I'm wondering if this carburetor that I got from him, borrowed from him, has got the venturis drilled for, I'll do this line for the wastegate. It's got the venturis drilled for more air to come through, or something of that nature. I'm not entirely sure. It's a big old giant carburetor. None of it is right, but I'm gonna get in here and look. So, this is the plus side of having no inner fenders in your Gasser F100. Let's see here. It looks like to me, I mean, the throttle it's closing all the way. And the rear is too. So, I am not seeing anything in the carburetor. The butterflies are closing. The vacuum ports are all blocked off with nipples and stuff. I got one blocked off on the back. But I am seeing a little bit of fuel right here around the secondary throttle blade shaft. I almost wonder if it's a good possibility that it's leaking in right there. I think I'm going to fire it up with the hat off, and or at least setting off to the side. I'm going to see how it acts. This carburetor is so not right though. Like, the throttle won't set in there all the way. I really just want mine back. But I want to be able to drive this thing around while mine is gone, and I got to make this carburetor work until then. But I got to figure out if it's the carburetor itself. Like I said, I've got fuel coming out right here, so on both sides. That would tell me that is definitely potentially a leak for vacuum. So I'm going to fire it up and spray that a little bit with, because like a lot of guys are suggesting to back your idle screw all the way off and undo your cable. Yeah, I promise I've tried all that stuff. I don't know if I need to try maybe making an adjustment to accelerator. Maybe it's putting a little bit of, I don't see that being a problem either. Just have to keep looking around, keep trying. I don't like this thing idling at 2,000 RPM while I'm messing with it. That's the problem. I really don't like it just singing up there in the RPM while I'm trying to figure out the issues. I just really don't like that. So let me fire it up and see what I can find. Whatever it is, it's definitely in this carburetor, because here's my idle screw backed all the way off. I can pull the butterflies down a little bit and get it to idle down. I can come over here and hold the secondaries closed and get it to idle down. The second I rev it, that's it. It's not the return spring. You know, that carburetor should snap closed on its own, even without a return spring. So, I did not see anything in the carburetor. Nothing that, this carburetor must just be, I mean, it's really, really big, but no, it doesn't, you know, it doesn't want that at all. That's just for the idle circuits anyway. Watch. even with the idle screw backed all the way off, this thing shouldn't even be idling right now. It's idling at like 1,000 RPM. Yeah, something's definitely just up with this carburetor. It come off of like a 490 some cubic inch big block Chevy. You can just tell it's like the carburetor does not return all the way. It doesn't like snap closed, and there's enough tension on my return springs that it should pull that carburetor closed. Something's definitely up with it, or I mean, it just moves a lot of air. I mean, it moves a lot of air, and this engine doesn't have, I don't think it has the capacity to take all that air. So yeah, I think that's all I'm going to be able to do with this carburetor. I definitely can't drive it like that. It is just and no, that is not a vacuum port. That's open. Neither is this. This is just wastegate. So I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to be patient a little longer, and hopefully mine shows back up soon.